Does anybody have any questions?
I just have a hard time, like if you're a child in Rwanda or you're a child that's starving in India or in a real bad situation, like how did that child have any in creating this situation they're in, or how anybody in that situation, awful situation, it's hard to see this love coming back to you when you're starving. There's violence and hatred all around you.
Well, I would say, and this might sound callous at first look, but I would say that that child in Rwanda is nothing more than your projection. That child in Rwanda, as you view the circumstances of that child in Rwanda, that is just you projecting that child in Rwanda. The entire situation, the entire universe, your entire universe is nothing more than a projection of you. And if you really are compelled, if you really think that that is something that needs to be addressed, then you must first address it within yourself. And as you address it within yourself, then the world out there will change. As Gandhi said, the change, how does he say it? You must be the change you wish to see. So I'm not saying that that is a good thing, which makes me I need to go in a different direction here. Good and bad. Good and bad are value judgments. They are judgments that we put on a situation. The child in Rwanda, you judge that to be bad. But, in point of fact, God, the all it is perfect and divine. And therefore we are perfect and divine because we are an emanation of God. And therefore, the child in Rwanda also is perfect and divine, just the way it is. The situation is perfect and divine, just the way it is. Because if it wasn't, then that would say that God was not perfect. God is perfection. That's all God is. God is love and perfection. We are here as physical beings are the ones who assign value judgments. We say something is good. We say something is bad. We say something is beautiful. Something is ugly. God never says any of that. God just is. God is just perfection. That's all God is perfection. Love and perfection. So anything that we see, the child in Rwanda, the car crash, the fire, the earthquakes, the floods, they're all, first of all, they all come from us. They're all emanations from us. They're all manifestations from us. And when we accept that everything is perfect, everything that emanates from us, since it is a part of God, is perfect, then we just accept the perfection of it. And if we feel like it needs to be changed, we can change it. If the Rwanda situation, if you feel that's a really horrible situation, then what you will do is first you need to come to accept it first as a divine situation. It's something that God has manifested. And then, if you're compelled to change it, then you will change it from within. You will begin changing it from within. That's what a lot of people tend to do, is they want to ascribe all these things out here to something out there. People want to think that God is out there and God is coming in here. If I open up, God will come in. I don't believe that at all. I believe that God is in here and God flows out, not in. So we are the messengers of God ourselves. God is not out there judging us, waiting for us to screw up so he can put the hammer down, or waiting for us to do something exceptionally good so he can reward us. God is us. God flows through us. God is perfect and divine, and everything that we do is perfect and divine. We judge ourselves, just like in that prayer. Don Miguel Ruiz, it hits it right on the head. When we judge ourselves and we find ourselves to be less than perfect, then we feel the need to punish ourselves. And then when we punish ourselves, then we look outside of us and we find that who are really just me, are also imperfect, and we judge you, and then we find a need to punish you. But the fact is that we are all nothing at our deepest core but the love of God. And we release into that.
Sort of following up on what he was saying, when you say you change within, when you're thinking of the child in Rwanda, what exactly do you mean? I mean, if a person feels strongly to help or somehow view that differently, or what exactly do you mean in that, where you see the poverty and sickness, or how can you explain that? Is how you're saying you change within? Is it just your perception of just seeing that just as perfect and just kind of letting it be, or helping, or are there different ways of dealing with that?
Well, if you assign a value judgment to that as something being bad,
Right.
then it's up to you to make it good. If it's bad, then you are the person who has deemed it to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
In God's eyes, it just is. So if you want to change that, and if you think that it needs to be changed, first of all, I think the big key is to accept it first.
Mm-hmm.
Accept first that it's there. Accept that the war in Iraq is going on. Accept that there are children in Rwanda. Accept that there's poverty and floods and all that. Accept that they're there, and accept that they're perfect. They're perfect manifestations of God. And then that doesn't mean that you don't have to do anything about it. Then you can do what your heart tells you to do. If you feel like giving money would make it better, or if you feel like volunteering for an organization would make it better. But don't view it as a bad thing. Just view it as a thing, just as an event. And it's an event maybe that you want to change. Maybe it's a situation that you want to change. Doesn't mean that you'll make it better, but it just means that you'll change it and be rewarded. You'll be more and more fulfilled within yourself for making the change.